Hello, hello, hello. Hi, Patty. Yes, you were first. That's amazing. I don't think you've ever been first. I don't know if it's been a while. Hey, Dave. That is great. I'm glad that you're enjoying this series. Um, I don't know anybody else in homesteading that is doing that. So, although I don't get around to a whole lot of channels or anything, but um, you were some, setting out some chili to heat up on the stove here. Nice. I'll have dinner after I'm done with this. But so you, well, Patty, it is 4 o'clock for you, so that's an early dinner. Hmm. Hey, Carrie, how are you doing? Yes, it is fat soluble. You have a lettuce mix sitting out on the counter thawing. Oh, frozen. I know a few of my zucchini from the garden got frozen to like parts of them. So instead of trying to process them in any way or anything, I'm just using the bits and the parts that I can. Um, when I'm cooking something, I did something that was, if you want something that's like super healthy and low carb and all that kind of stuff, I just took some homemade tomato sauce. Well, I should back up. Um, I browned a pound of ground beef with onions and stuff. So onions from the garden and some ground beef um, and threw in, of course, tomato sauce. And then I put in a jar of, it's a half pint jar of home canned mushrooms. And what else did I put in there? So then the mushrooms. And then I cut up one whole zucchini into like little chunks, probably quarter inch, 3/8 of an inch thick, into like quarters or something. And I sauteed those up, kind of fried them up in another pan, added them to the mix and everything. And then I also have some homegrown green beans that I can throw in there too. I've done both, with or without green beans, but this is a tomato based meat veggie concoction that is very filling and it's very good. You guys should try it if you can. I mean, it's leg time or whatever. It's weird. Oh, okay. I was really just saying hello. Um, so you need chickens for those frozen zucchini. That is true. I know, because otherwise I have to cut them off and just discard them. So, hey, Deb, how are you? You got the plums dehydrated that you bought, almost 3 quarts. Nice. Oh, good for you. Yeah, you guys are really fortunate to have animals that you can, um, get your other produce to, because for me, I feel like I have to do everything with it. Or, if I'm throwing it away, it's like, oh, I feel like such a waste. But anyway, you're trying real hard to sprout some plum trees. Hmm. How you were doing, Dave? You were doing an experiment with, um, was it just apple trees last year that you were grafting and trying to get things going? How did that go? Wanted to find out. I don't know. Maybe you had it in a video or something, but I must have missed it or something. But just wondering how that went. Um, Getting things around your place cleared up for fall and winter prep. Was helping as your supervisor. Nice. That is good. Hey, Alicia. Oh, no worries. No worries. So, um, yes, it's bedtime, getting ready time there. Absolutely. Um, yeah, it is right now 75 degrees. We've got a couple warm days coming up, mid 80s. Um, but it's windy and there's a bit of heat blowing in right before a major front, and it's going to be a cooler front. Highs all in the low 60s, I think, something like that. But rain for like 4 days. Oh, we haven't had rain for since the very beginning of August, I think it was. So we are so dry. And the trees are all changing, so leaves are falling. Um, Everything's coming down. But um, anyway, yes, it's so nice to hear. However, the timing, I know. It's like this weekend, a friend's coming over, and we were going to be assembling and putting up my greenhouse that I have, my little one that, and it's we're going to spend like Friday through Monday working on it, and it's going to be raining Friday through Monday, like storming. I mean, it's not even like, because I was thinking, it's like, okay, well, if it's, if it's saying 30 or 40% chance of rain, we can work on it for, and then the rain comes, and then it'll rain for an hour or something, and then pass on, and then we can just get back to work or something. um I was just looking at it again, and it's like Saturday, 80% chance of thunderstorms all day, all night. Whoops, knocked my computer. Friday, I think it's 70% chance. So Sunday is, so it's like, and this is the second time we've scheduled. We were supposed to do it over Labor Day weekend, and it was 100 degrees, and we just were like, no, I'm not going to work out there in that heat. But anyway, let me get back to your chat. You grew a few apples from seed 2 years ago, planted last year. Dozen new baby trees under lights. Nice. Growing your own orchard from scratch. That is so great. Hey, Kathy, how are you doing? Um, Dakari kennel and two more ducks. Oh, no. Karakara. Is that a bird? A karakara? Your fridge is full of stratifying seeds waiting to plant. Yay! I'll call the Mexican eagle. Here it's hawks that usually take your birds. Oh. So your duck pen is surrounded by a 5-foot fence. You have strong checkerboard pattern. Okay. Does that keep them out then? They see that string, and then they know they can't fly into it. Does that help? You're 5'5". Okay. You have to duck just that 5 inches. Oh, fun. You are not one of over 130,000 lost power here. Okay. Um, you get sick of tomatoes. I didn't grow them this year, thank goodness. But anyway, so I'm trying to use up my tomato stuff, and that's where I thought, oh, yeah, the tomato with the ground beef and all the veggies in there, the sauce, and it was very good. Put a little Parmesan on it, and it's like you got your super duper deluxe spaghetti sauce without the noodles, and so it was really really good. Um, wow, Mexican eagle and hawks, you guys, yeah. I'm dealing with rabbits yet. Oh my goodness. Here's okay. On my videos, I show you on the south side of my house. I have this long bed that I put in there, and I have the pots that I set down in there. And one year I grew herbs and stuff in them. Right now I just have flowers in them. And because it gets so hot on that end, it was just like toasting a lot of my herbs, and um, I was just fighting with it, so it wasn't that good. But anyway, 2 years ago, I rebuilt the whole bed. I mean, lots of work out there in the heat, and it was just like, I mean, it was seriously almost 100 degrees out there. I'm rebuilding this thing, building it up, adding, a little bit higher, adding, burning the wood and doing all this stuff and staining and blocks, and I just doing it. Um, and then I put in a weed fabric across it, and then mulched about 4 inches deep, all this other kind of stuff. Well, was it last week? I think it was last week or sometime I was watering over there, and I accidentally stepped on the hose, and it squeaked, or there was a squeak. I was like, "What?" I was like, so I stepped on it again, and it didn't squeak. But then I was like hearing this squeak, and all of a sudden the mulch is moving between two of those pots of my flowers, and I was like, "What in the world?" It's just like some mama rabbit decided to have her, what is it called, to have a litter of rabbits. I don't even know what the word is, but she birthed them right under the mulch in my flower bed. And I was like, are you serious? After all the work and all the money I put in there. And so I've seen 3 or 4 of them. They're now big enough where they're out running around and stuff, but I don't know where else she has birth. She's quite promiscuous, and so she and fertile, and so she puts them everywhere. I know. Um, so anyway, I was just like, gotta deal. You're just dealing with one thing, and then another thing pops up, literally. So I'm just doing that. Um, you're hoping this drink, you're saving tomato seeds like crazy. Oh, good. Good. I've seen a lot more people talking about saving tomato seeds and showing how and all that. So, um, yeah, I hadn't heard. What was it? I think, was it you, Dave, or Al Alumna, that was saying that Lee, um, they didn't get anything. They didn't even get any rain out of Lee, and that's in New Hampshire. So, right, or Vermont? Where is he? He's in New Hampshire. So I was like, oh, maybe you'll get missed. Um, Carcar lives in South and Central America into Texas. Moving north. Oh my goodness. Okay. I've seen a lot of big hawks around recently, and some rather aggressive too. So fantastic gardens this summer. Yeah. Well, good, Kathy. I'm so glad that you've had it. So, oh, Dave, thank you. Thank you. No, I didn't get any pictures of them. Maybe I will. Baby rabbits are kits. Okay, thank you. A bit north of you. We had wind for a day and a half. Oh, wow. Okay. Um, well, it doesn't sound like you had any damage or anything or any flooding. So, so that's good. Got a half inch of rain, some wind, some wrist-sized branches in the yard. Power out for 4 to 5 hours. Wow. Okay. But you lose power at the drop of a hat, too, I think, Dave, don't you? So all your generators are very, very necessary. Yeah. um, so, yeah, so I'm still picking beans, guys. I've been picking beans since the beginning of August. They've been going for like 7 weeks now. Um, those Royal Burgundies from Emma Gardner, I tell you what, they are a hardy bean plant, and they're so great. So I picked on Thursday. I didn't have time to process them, so they're still in the refrigerator right now. I just cleaned them and cut them. They're in the fridge, but I'll probably pick again tomorrow morning. And I mean, there's a lot of beans on the plants, and I mean they could probably go until frost, but at some point I'm just going to pull them up because I have other things I need to do with that bed, and so. Um, the tree came down. Oh, that's not good. You shouldn't be out driving in that kind of weather unless, I mean, I know sometimes you have to for work and different things, but you get a huge branch on a tree breaking out in the path of these storms. Interesting. Um, so, where was I? What was I talking about? I can't remember. Oh, anyway, yeah, it's just the garden and stuff and the beans. The beans, yeah, the beans are crazy. So I've got lots of beans. But anyway, yeah, and this is summer of 2020. I grew a lot of stuff, and I probably put up 300 jars of food on top of what I already had. So I'm still working off of that, and I really didn't want to put anything more that was the same of what I had in there. So I'm trying to work through everything else. And beans, I was probably going to run out of, because even though I've grown them the last couple of years, I didn't can more than probably a dozen each year or something. So um, it's just because of the years that, I mean, it was crazy. Anyway, yeah, all the carrots I showed you last week, got those all in. Peppers are still growing. Basil, all the herbs are still growing. Um, yeah, the beans, the green onions, and the rabbits are growing. So all of that. So, oh my goodness. So trying to get through all of that, and I've got so many other things going on right now too. But uh, yeah, trying to prepare for company and getting all this stuff. I ordered some of the things that we needed to build the base of the greenhouse. Um, so we're gonna dig down a certain ways and then put railroad ties down, and then put 4x4s on top of those. Screwing them both in, doing some ground anchors as well as screwing the 4x4s into the railroad ties, and then the cedar sides of the greenhouse into the 4x4s. So very, very secure, very heavy and everything. I I went to Menards today, which is like Lowe's or Home Depot, and I was just thinking, okay, I only need four, and railroad ties, and then the 4x4s, and it's like I haul wood in my car all the time. I've got a compact SUV. I put down the passenger seat, can fold that down, and then it stretches out, and I can get 8-foot lumber in there. And I've carried a lot of lumber. I've carried like probably up to 15 or 16 2x10s, and those a 2x10 is um, not lightweight at all either. So anyway, I've hauled all that in there in the car and brought that home. And I mean, half an hour away from them. Well, I went in there to order it, and they're like, the the railroad ties weigh 125 pounds each. I'm like, are you kidding me? It's like, there's no way. I mean, even if they load it into my car, it could end up breaking my seats and the different things, because that's all of a sudden we got talking 500 pounds, or wait, 125 is for, yeah, that's 500 pounds of railroad ties. And then you've got another 80 pounds of 4x4s, and then I've got T-posts. It's like, I don't think I want to put that kind of weight into my car, and so I'm just like, oh, okay. So I decided to just order everything that I needed: pavers and sand and cement, and just everything that I needed to have, and having it delivered. So it's going to be delivered on Thursday in the rain. So I'm like, no, I didn't order cement, just sand. But anyway, it's, yeah, kind of crazy in that way. The it's just like, I just don't like paying that much delivery fee. But I was just, there's just no way. Not only putting that kind of weight in my car, but then once I get home, I would have to unload it, and it's like, I could unload something that weighs 50 or 60 pounds. I could do that, but not 125 pounds by myself. That's a lot. I mean, I might be able to like slide it out the back and let it just plunk on the ground or something, but I don't want to damage my car either, you know? So, anyway, it's going to be so, I, I'm excited about that. The drought caused your back door to shift and it won't close. Oh no. Went shopping on Wednesday with a friend, bought seeds. Woohoo! Yay! You had a lot to replenish your pantry from November 8th, but we ate all meals from. Wow, Kathy, that is an excellent. That is so great. Um, hey, Joy, how are you? Sorry, I missed seeing you come in. So, um, and I read your thing, so I'm sorry. uh, yes, it. I'll be excited. I mean, I can't use it obviously all winter long, but I can start things in it early. I can, extend my season in the fall. It'll be nice. I'm even thinking because I was watching Chelsea at Little Mountain Ranch yesterday and today, and she uses her little greenhouse to dry her onions. She built like screen racks, lined the walls. I don't know if anybody else saw that, but it was like great place to dry your onions out or to cure them. I mean, to cure them. So I'm like, that is so cool. That's a great idea. So that's something I could use it for in the fall. Have some racks and everything in there, and just use that for curing the onions. So yeah, exactly, Dave. So it's still outside. It's getting all of that benefit of everything out there, and yet it's um, yeah, the unloading is the bad part. So true. So true. You're a bullheaded boy, Percy. You would have loaded up your station wagon. Got hernia unloaded. Yeah. It's I if I had really planned it out, or I guess knew how much that was going to weigh, I would have swung by and picked up one at a time, over the last few weeks or something. It's like, oh, okay, I'm going to be up there. Let me get one, put it in the car, and bring it home. And then I could have done that. But between now and Friday, I don't want to make 4 trips up there to do that. And, so it's like, I'm just going to get everything else that I need all at one time. So it was hit the old wallet real hard, but it'll be worth it. It'll allow me to get everything else done without killing my back or having a hernia or blowing out a knee or something, So I have to, at my age now, I got to start working a little smarter instead of foolish. Or about a 20-pound of wild bird seed to use a toddler size weight. Ooh. Oh, the great physical therapy there. That is so good. So thanks, Alicia. Um, you want some cattle panel? It's 16 feet long. I know. Exactly. Delivery will be cheaper than the rack. I know. Menards also has something they started this year. They've got 2 different pickups that people can rent from them. It's all painted Menards and stuff on there, but one is more of like it's got the racks and all this kind of stuff for like a true construction need or everything, and the other one is just got the bed in the back. But they said it starts at like $20 for the first 75 minutes. I haven't checked into the prices to see what it would be after that, but 75 minutes. So I live half an hour away. So once I get it and I leave, I've already used up a half an hour. If I just unload, it takes me 15 minutes and I can get back up there, and check in within that next half hour. I would cover the 75 minutes. But, you know, and I even thought about that with the railroad ties because, well, I could put everything in the back there, get it all there. But there was still the thing about lifting and unloading those 125-pound beams. And I'm just like, yeah, just not, just don't want to take that chance. But that it's a nice option to have if I ever need that, to be able to, rent the truck. So rent a pickup. But I was thinking about that too, with the cattle panels. I was like, I could rent a pickup for that and just bring the cattle panels there, just unload those real quick and then do that. So that might be an idea. Um, you don't have a ladder rack on the truck. So yeah, there was another on that one other pickup that had construction racks and stuff. Could probably strap them to that and get them back home. So anyway, your aunt's ex had 3 hernias. Ooh. You can bend your cattle panels into a hoop and haul them into a truck bed. Well, that's what I was thinking too. Yes. Yep. Exactly, Dave. So, all right. So I'm going to give you I've had garden tips written here for a couple weeks and keep getting into the vitamins and forget about them. So I'm going to give those to you first today. My garden tip is start cleaning out your beds and either planting your fall or winter garden or winter cover crop. So do that. I want to, before this rain comes, get like tomorrow or Wednesday, get my cover crop seeds out there. That's where I'm thinking it sure would be nice just to pull out all the beans and get everything out of there, even though they're still producing. Just get them out there, get the cover crop in. I mean, we're already facing the end of September here. I mean, well, it's the 18th, but 10, 11, 12 days, it's going to be done here. And so then we're going to be getting defrosts and different things. So it sure would be nice to just get all of that in right away. There's some cover crop growing. Oh, good. Hey, Nightcrawler. I have 2 different things. I've got some annual ryegrass, which I've used a lot in the past, but last year I did get a pack of cover crop mix, and I think it's probably somewhat what you use, Dave, which is a mix of like clover and pea and different things like that. So I'm going to use both this year. I suppose I could mix both of them in the same bed, but I didn't think about that. I was thinking that one bed, just ryegrass, and another bed, just the other cover crop stuff. So anyway, you can haul 10 panels at a time. I like that. Once you get the first one booped, that's about what you do. That's cute, Kathy. Well, that's great. Yeah, because, I thought it was like, well, do I ask a friend who's got a pickup to, swing by Menards and pick up a cattle panel for me and stick it in there? I mean, when it's so far away, you hate to ask, it's like a real imposition. So I'm try to do all that. So anyway, my prep tip then is inventory all your supplies, your gardening supplies, your canning supplies, your seeds, just everything. Inventory all your supplies before winter and stock up because prices continue to rise. So if you can get them now. I had to get something today at Walmart, and it was, just some cold medicine to have on hand and everything. It used to be like $5.50 or something. Then, starting a couple of years ago, it started creeping up, went up to like 7 something. Well, they've had it off the shelf for weeks and weeks. I'm like, okay, they discontinued it or what? But anyway, they redesigned the package, and it's coming back at $10.50 for a box. So it's doubled in 3 or 4 years, and I'm just like, oh, so crazy. Duncan 1900, hello, hello, hello. I could do them separate to see what you like better, but mixing would be fine. I only have one packet of the clover pea mix, so I don't know how far that's going to go. But I have like at least a 1 pound bag of the other seed. So yeah, planted 5 potatoes today that were starting to sprout. Nursery says plant potatoes on Valentine's Day. Keep winter harvest. When do you get your first freeze down there, Carrie? That would kind of depend on it. So, um, I was saying hi. Prices on everything are disturbing. Yes, they are, Joy. Absolutely. You're planting some white Dutch clover. Ooh, nice. Well, you've been dealing with beavers too. You guys should catch Dave's last video on what he's had to do with this. You know, we you always have to contend with animals when you're living somewhat kind of out in the country and stuff. It's crazy. You had the idea of replenishing sugar. Last summer you bought a 50-pound bag for $21. $52. Oh my gosh. Oh, and it's not going to get any better, and you don't want to run out. And that's the thing. It's just like, it's almost like you have to, and because beaver fever over there. Freeze in November, but only a quick one. Doesn't get real cold until January. You could, if a freeze comes, like in November, if you have a frost or a freeze, I would cover them real well, and then once that danger is past, I would uncover them then. So you could try that. So anyway, yes, inventory your stock. So I put in a few links to the articles that I got my information for. They're all in the description below for sources of vitamin E and, their roles and different things like that. So let's get into the main topic here. Let me get my page here. So, according to Scientific American, the body doesn't absorb synthetic forms of vitamin E as efficiently as vitamin E in its natural form. So if you're thinking, oh, well, I'm just going to take a supplement or something, it doesn't absorb it that well. So let me just, he's bought several. Oh, good. Check your local co-op for cattle panels. Oh, that's cool. Thanks, Nightcrawler. A little barter, right? Oh, that'll be good. Hey, Caitlin. So one of the best ways to ensure you're taking in enough vitamin E is to eat vegetables that are high in vitamin E. And this was really interesting what they said, that locally grown or homegrown veggies offer the highest levels of vitamins and minerals. Not the stuff that gets transported in from another state or another country or different things like that, but locally grown or homegrown veggies offer the highest levels of vitamins and minerals. So let's talk a little bit about vitamin E. The other thing with that, for the vegetables there, to once you harvest them and you're growing them and you harvest them, you should try to eat them within 72 hours after harvest, because they can lose 15 to 60% of their nutrients if not eaten within that 3 days. which was really there. That's better. My screen was so dim. Um, so I thought that was really, really interesting to find out. It's like I didn't realize, because like we'll put them in the fridge or just set them out on the counter for a while or something, and um, but they can lose up to 60% of their nutrients. So then you're like eating a lot of food to get the nutrients. Yeah, right, Dave. I was like, oh my goodness. So okay, so exposure to sun, which is getting our vitamin D, it depletes vitamin E in your skin. So one gives and one takes away. So as you get older, some topical applications with vitamin E, oil or salve or something like that, that it does help your skin. Vitamin E has been found to be very effective in the prevention and reversal of various disease complications due to its function as an antioxidant. So vitamin E is an antioxidant. Its role in anti-inflammatory processes, its inhibition of platelet aggregation, and its immune enhancing activity, which is a whole bunch of words there. Anyway, it's been very effective in a bunch of different things. So I always thought vitamin E had to just do with the skin. It's like, oh, this there, I should have some, salve with vitamin E in it, or that's good for this or whatever. You just think of it as topically for skin conditions or dry skin or different things like that. But I didn't realize how many other areas of our bodies it affects. So it possesses anti-cancer properties. It inhibits the growth of cancer cells in cultures through a number of mechanisms. What it does is it traps the free radicals, which are the cancer parts of the cells and everything. Um, if you supplement your diet, if you're not getting enough through your vegetables and everything, you should have 100 milligrams per day of vitamin E, and that can lead to reduction in several risk factors like arterial clotting, um, and cholesterol, different things like that. So your blood, your arteries, your heart, vitamin E is essential for all that kind of stuff. And I was like, wow. Okay, Kathy, thanks so much. You'll be back. Okay, that's awesome. Um, so cancer, heart, arteries, and blood. Yeah, all that kind of stuff. Cataracts. So for your eyes, we always think of, vitamin A, like we talked about the carotene and the different things for your eyes, but vitamin E helps with the cataracts. So cataracts are one of the most common. I love this. Their language are one of the commonest causes instead of the most common. I did. I've been. I do a lot of editing, or I did a lot of editing for other people, and when I went back to college and stuff, and I was actually in. That was one of my work study jobs, was to edit other people's papers and stuff like that, and so I'm pretty good at the English language and doing things like that. I'm like, oh man, the things that are written out here for public consumption that are supposed to be all knowing and everything. I'm like, oh my goodness. So anyway, side communist, I know. Isn't that great? Oh, no worries, Patty. We're just kind of getting started on this. Um, so it's one of the most common causes of significant vision loss in older people, cataracts. And then it's like, okay, we're being told all that. They basically occur due to the accumulation of proteins damaged by free radicals. Okay, so free radicals are not just cancer type of things. They're affecting your eyesight. They're creating the cataracts and everything. They accumulate the proteins that are damaged by them. So, beyond that, I don't know all the ins and outs, but it's like, wow, even AI thinks it's so true. So, several observational studies have revealed a potential relationship between vitamin E supplements and the risk of cataract formation. They found that lens clarity was superior in participants who took vitamin E supplements and those with higher blood levels of the vitamin. So it's like, whoa, okay. But again, remember, it's like you can get so much more um, vitamin E from eating the foods that you grow than you can from a supplement. So just remember that part. Okay. Also, another aspect, the Alzheimer's Disease Cooperative Study in 1997 showed that vitamin E may slow disease progression in patients with moderately severe Alzheimer's. High doses of vitamin E delayed the loss of the patient's ability to carry out daily activities and their consequent placement in residential care for several months. So it prolonged their, um, you know, okay, slow down the disease progression. There it is. So anyway, I thought that was really great. Vitamin E stimulates the body's defenses, enhances cell immune responses. So it's an immune boosting thing too. It's like, wow, all these things. I had no idea. It's just so great. So we've talked about deficiencies and different things like that. So vitamin E deficiency is very rare in healthy people. It is almost always linked to certain diseases in which fat is not properly digested or absorbed. And I think it was Curie, you're the one that said it's fat soluble. That's so true. Absolutely. So if you have it, it is linked in fat. It's part of fat, but certain fats. So you have to really be careful of that. But if you have a disease that can't digest it or absorb it, then you're going to have a deficiency. So some of those examples are if you have Crohn's disease, cystic fibrosis, um, certain rare genetic diseases such as ataxia, and another one that I'm not even going to try. Okay, proteinemia. Abetalipoproteinemia. There you go. That's one word. Oh, yeah, I've never heard of that. How do you come up with some of these names? Yes, Dave, exactly. Um, so ataxia with vitamin E deficiency. So vitamin E needs some fat for the digestive system to absorb it. The resulting symptoms of vitamin E deficiency include muscle weakness, vision problems, immune system changes, numbness, difficulty in walking, and tremors, as well as a poor sense of balance. Now, if you go out on a bender, that does not count. Um, if there's oil in your drink and you put some vitamin E in there, maybe that would help. I don't know. Yes, Dave, I know, I know. But I think a lot of us can relate here. Um, Joy, I don't remember what the gallbladder does, its function um, with that. So I don't know. That's a good point. Um, yes, so it can so deficiency can cause nerve and muscle damage that results in loss of feeling in the arms and legs. Yeah, loss of body movement control. Vitamin E that is naturally present in food and beverages is not harmful and does not need to be limited. So you're going, oh, okay, I've had enough of this stuff. I can't get any more because it's too much vitamin E. Don't worry about it. But so naturally present in food, but in supplement form, high doses might increase the risk of bleeding because it helps to prevent blood clotting and different things like that. So it's almost like a natural uh, blood thinner in a way, I guess. But if you take it by the supplement form, but in natural form, you don't have to worry about it. It's going to do its thing. It's going to be just fine. So gallbladder releases bile, need bile to break down fats. Oh, okay. Thank you, Carrie. Okay. Um, natural thinner. Okay. So it might be something to think about then, Dave. So on to our vegetables that contain um, vitamin E that you can grow. Okay. Beet greens. So the greens, we're not talking about the root, but the greens itself. Swiss chard, turnip greens, collard greens, mustard greens, kale, and spinach. Do you see a pattern here? It's all your deep greens, right? Greens, 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 greens. Kale, spinach, beet greens. They didn't even say lettuce in here. It was just like deeper greens than that. So, lots of cold weather greens, yes. So, we might need to build a. Huh, just wondering if, like, if you have a cold room or even a somewhat heated garage in the winter. I mean, if it stays above freezing in the garage, um, to build like a cold frame um, grow place for your greens with like shop light or grow light or something like in there, but have it covered like it would be like an outdoor cold frame, um, but indoor with the grow lights. So that would be something you could do, because it would like the cold and the a little bit probably greater humidity in a garage or something like that. So you need to go out to the garden, plant some more seeds. Yes. The color of the day is green. Yes. Okay. Then we also have sunflower seeds, sweet potatoes, yams, and tomatoes. So all of those too. So kind of a good thing, but definitely greens, and then we can add a few others there. There's some other vegetables that can help, but they're not as potent. That list I just gave you were the most potent, and this list is part of one of the. Well, actually, I think I put in the description below. I I put like grow these particular things, so these will help. So asparagus. Now they have lettuce on the list. Artichokes, broccoli, red peppers, parsley, leeks, fennel, Brussels sprouts, onion, pumpkin, rhubarb, beans, cabbage, radishes, okra, and pumpkin seeds. Sounds like a great variety. It sounds like a whole garden, doesn't it? It's like everything in there. I didn't see carrots on here, but no carrots or potatoes. Oh, sweet potatoes. Um, but everything else pretty much on there. Yeah, grow a lot of those. Growing sweet potatoes right now, mostly to feed. Okay. So, to kind of go on a little bit of a sideways direction here, I'm going to give you a list of the foods that are actually highest in vitamin E. So some of these you can grow, some you can't. Some got an idea on for you guys I want to share. Okay, so the number one highest food in vitamin E is wheat germ oil. And again, like we talked about the oils, that you need to be oils, soluble in oil and be able to do it. So a lot of these are going to be oils um, that they're very high in vitamin E. So wheat germ oil, sunflower seeds. Now that was already up in one of the top ones before. So, and sunflower seeds have come up for vitamin A and I think vitamin B and D. I think there's a lot packed into those sunflower seeds. So they're not just a cute flower and fun to have and to feed the birds. So there's something to be said for that. So you might want to keep some packs of those around to grow. So if you have whole ground wheat germ, we are getting the oil. Yes, yes. Um, Yummy snack. Yep. All right. Number 3 would be almonds. So if you like almonds and eat those, they're very high in vitamin E. 4 is hazelnut oil. 5, I've never heard of, but it's mamey sapote. If anybody knows what that is, please share. Number 6 is sunflower oil. So there we go back to our sunflowers. You can make sunflower oil. Almond oil. So we have almonds and almond oil. Hazelnuts, abalone, pine nuts, goose meat. So for those fall hunters that go goose hunting, if you eat goose, you'll have some good vitamin E. Number 12, peanuts. Who'd have thought? Peanuts are full of vitamin E. Number 13, Atlantic salmon. That's so interesting. I mean, salmon is way down on the list there when it's so high for other things. You can add hazelnuts to your yard. Yay! A tropical fruit. Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you, Brenda. I appreciate that. So, number 14 is avocado. 15, rainbow trout. There you go. For the fishermen out there. Number 16 is red sweet pepper. 17 are Brazil nuts. 18. I read somewhere it's like people in Brazil call them Brazil nuts. And they're like, no, we just call them nuts. So in your stream, oh, cool. Very good. Brazil nuts, 18 mango, 19 turnip greens, which we've already talked about. Oh, they say raw turnip greens. And then 20 is kiwi fruit. So I'm like, oh, I could have a kiwi, get my vitamin E. So I'm going to focus on the first one, the wheat germ oil. So the wheat germ is the embryonic portion of the wheat kernel. Okay, so you've got the kernel, and it's like kind of the casing around it, so to speak, because the germ inside is so anyway, the kernel, the wheat germ is the portion of the wheat kernel is high in oil content. Wheat germ, once separated from the kernel, can be pressed to obtain that oil. The oil is light in both color and flavor. Wheat germ oil delivers a significant amount of vitamin E. They call it something tocopherol, something like that. Anyway, I'll just say vitamin E. It's like the formal Latin name for it or something, I guess. In fact, 1 teaspoon of wheat germ oil, 1 teaspoon delivers more than 33% of the daily recommended amount of vitamin E. A simple screw-type press can be used to make wheat germ oil at home. So you can grow some of your own wheat and then press your own wheat and make wheat germ oil and different things like that. I checked on Amazon. They have nut and seed presses. So any of these oils that they talked about, almond oil, sunflower oil, hazelnut oil, of course, wheat germ oil, all of those you could use in that press and make your oils and just like have them on your salads, put them into different dishes, different things like that. They're a bit spendy. They start at $95 and go up to $700, depending on how fancy and you wanted to do it. So The cheap ones are like you screw this onto your counter and then crank and different things like that. The bigger, the more expensive ones are all electric with, computer panels, and they just do everything. So, um, okay. Uh, you miss the fishing. You have to go stream on the property. Yeah. I wonder if you can get vitamin E from petting geese. I don't think it quite works that way, Carrie. The germ is the part of the seed that grows roots and leaves. It is the sprouting part of a seed. Thank you, Patty. Just looked up. Oh, yeah, it's spelled TOCOPHEROL. So, oh yeah, alpha. You got it right. Tocopherol. So you just needed to know. Did it say vitamin E? So anyway, I thought that was pretty interesting. That it's like, wow, we could make our own oils like that, because if they get too doggone expensive or unavailable, you still want to be able to get. We need our oils, and these are plant-based oils. We if you don't have access to animals or something like that, and to be able to get lard and all the other good oils that are there. There's all this. So I don't know. I don't think that would work for like avocado, to get your own avocado oil, but it because for nuts and seeds, and so you want to put that in there. But anyway, I just thought that was pretty cool. So you can grow your greens and have your stuff, and you get your vitamin E. Um, yeah, and just to really, I've been talking with my sister about all these too, and all the things I'm learning and sharing with you guys. And we talk about how depleted our foods really are that you get from the store and different things. And so it's like, um, I think as a whole, I think we are people who are going into more deficiencies, and that is not recognized very much by the medical community in the way of, you having these symptoms. They don't look immediately at vitamin deficiencies. They look at, oh, okay, well, it must be something like this. I'm going to put you on this medication and do this, so it goes the pharmaceutical route instead of looking at something very basic. If we just increase our vitamins, it might heal a whole lot in our bodies and in our lives and everything. So never could. Vitamin E is so true, Dave. It's really not talked about much. And like I said, it's you think about, oh, you just need it for skin, topical type of thing, and you don't realize actually what it's needed for in your body and what it does. So yes, exactly, Kiri. It can go rancid really fast. So that's something that if you made your own at home, I would, refrigerate it, or, um, do things. Somebody shared with me that whenever you're using oils for like salves and soaps and different things like that, that if like say you use some almond oil or olive oil or something, add a little vitamin E oil to it, from a bottle that's already just vitamin E oil. And I don't really know how they make that. I was looking for that and I couldn't find anything on that. But anyway, add a little vitamin E, just a few drops, to your other oil, and it prevents it from going rancid. So it's like, that is really amazing. So if like you've made if I've made some comfrey oil or some calendula oil or something like that, and I've got it in a jar, and you go back 6 months later, a year later, or something, you smell it and you go, oh, that's really turning. And so, or getting stale, rancid type of thing, put a few drops of vitamin E in there and it doesn't do that. And so I'm like, wow. Oh, that's great. So, having that in your in your in your pantry and in your stores of things would be really, really beneficial. Really, really good. So, slows the oxidation of the oils. Oh, is that okay? Calendula vinegar is the best. Ooh, okay. Eating organ meats of all three animals and how nutritious. Yeah, it is. Yep. Best ways to enjoy it. Oh, that's a good idea because I don't care for liver. I'm sorry, I don't. Um, well, thank you, Patty. That's good to know. So, anyway, guys, that's what I have to share with you about vitamin E. So, but I was looking at those presses and I'm like, oh my goodness. It's like, I don't have the place to grow any of I'm not set up, I should say, to grow my own wheat or grow my own almonds or different things like that. But, you know, if you were to buy, a 50-pound bag of now, Patty, the wheat berries, is a wheat berry with the kernel on that too? So it's the germ. I mean, it's the whole kernel with the germ and everything. Because I haven't bought wheat berries, so I didn't know. But welcome, Patty. You made liver for the first time ever. The other. Oh, cool. I agree with you, Dave. It's like, yeah, it could. I think if it's a big hunk of just leathery type of stuff, it's like no. But I can see, um, cutting it up or slices or something, and then sautéed with stuff. I don't know, kind of the berry would be the entire seed. Okay, so if you buy the wheat berries, they last like forever. So people buy them for grinding and milling flour. So if you were able to take some of that and turn them into wheat germ oil and have that would be very, very cool. That would be cool. The germ is always the part of the seed that sprouts. Okay. They are minus the husk, a more simple seed. Okay. Thank you. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. So if you buy your wheat, then you have a wheat grinder, and then you could have an oil grinder producer type of thing. So thin slices, breaded, fried in butter, is crispy. Oh, now that sounds good. That sounds really good. If you didn't have to smell it, yeah. Soaked it in milk first. Oh, oh, sounds like you had a good recipe. Well, guys, I'm over the hour here, so I'm gonna have to get going. Um, but it was a pleasure hanging out with you again this week, and we'll have to. I know we're starting to run out of vitamins, but it has been actually really, really very interesting. It's like, okay, I think it helps if it's something that you want to focus on, making sure you're growing a healthy garden, a garden that's going to give you the optimal health, not just like, oh, this is pretty, this is cute. It's like maybe I'll grow this or something. But if you really want to grow stuff, like I said, for giving you the healthiest meals and produce that you can. Um, Focusing on those that are the highest in these particular vitamins that we need, I think is going to be very critical coming down the line. So, oh, Dave, that's so sweet. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right, guys, take care. God bless. Always have hope and have an awesome week. I hope to be here next week. If my friends are still here helping me build my greenhouse, I might not be able to get on, but I'll put something in the community notes for that if that ends up being the case. Otherwise, I will be here and I will talk with you. I might get rained out and not have a greenhouse at all. So, all right, guys, take care. God bless. Hey, good night, Eli. Um, Watch the replay. Okay. All right. Blessings to you all. Good night.